Welcome back, YouTube. Now, a lot of people don't like to spend hours in the gym, okay? I mean, some people do, but most people don't. Now, an area I see a lot of people potentially wasting time is within their warm-up, okay? Now, obviously, warm-ups are important for the safety, and we don't want to be injuring ourselves. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through a simple and still effective way to warm up that is going to save you a little bit of time, where you're not going to have to be warming up for a good 15-20 minutes. You can go into the gym, you can do this warm up, and you can crack straight on. Okay, the example I'm going to give is obviously towards weight training, right? But the gist of it is this: whatever you're going to be going in to do, okay, your warm up should be very specific to that. Okay, the movements that you're doing in your warm-up should be the same, just at a very lower intensity as the movements that you're going to be doing in your training, right? A lot of people, for example, will go into a weight training session and they'll spend 15 minutes on the treadmill. When in reality, yes, that's obviously going to be helping warm up on some level, you know, it's going to be getting the heart rate going, getting the blood flowing, and potentially, you know, warming up lower body muscles, stuff like that, fantastic. But then when you come to actually doing the weight training itself, that one isn't specific to what you're going to be doing, okay? You haven't been going through the same movements. So here's a much more simple and effective way to warm up, and it means you don't need to spend 15-20 minutes on a treadmill. Okay, so let's say your first movement of that session is squats, okay? And you're going to be doing 80 kilograms for 8 to 10 reps. That's going to be like your working set, okay? Now, the warm-up you want to do needs to be specific to what you're going to be doing in training, okay? Walking on the treadmill for 15-20 minutes isn't really going to relate to going in and doing squats, okay? So what's a better way of warming up is doing squats at a much lower intensity, okay? And then building it up. For example, you might do one warm-up set, 20 kilograms, and you might do 8 reps. Second set, you're going to slightly increase the weight and slightly reduce the reps. So you're going to do 50 kilograms for 5 reps. Third set, you're going to do, again, slightly increase the weight, drop the reps. You see a pattern here. 65 kilograms for 3 reps. And then the fourth set, you're going to do 75 kilograms for 2 reps. Okay. Now, the reason why over time you're increasing weight, pretty simple. You obviously want to get used to that level of intensity that you're going to be doing in that working set, okay? It's pointless doing 4 sets of 20 kilograms just to get the movement patterns warmed up when you're then going to shift up to 80 kilograms, right? Essentially, you know, your body's not going to be prepared for that amount of weight. So that's why you're driving weight up. The reason why we're driving reps down is simply because this is a warm-up, right? After your warm-up, you don't want to be fatigued, that when you go to do your working set, you're just shattered. That's not the point of a warm-up, okay? So we need to make sure that through our warm-up, obviously we're not accumulating too much volume and too much fatigue, right? So the weight goes up for us to get used to that amount of weight that we're going to be shifting within that movement pattern, and the reps come down so we're not accumulating fatigue and volume. Now, obviously you're going to be doing different exercises within a session, okay? So do you need to do that exact warm-up for every movement? The answer is no, okay? The best way I would see this is that if you're doing a new muscle group, then yes, warming up in a similar pattern is probably a good idea, okay? So say for example you've done squats and you're going to go into like RDLs. Doing a similar pattern, because you've gone from majority quads to say majority hamstrings, it would be a good idea to do a similar thing, right? But if you've gone from a squat to say like a leg press, you're probably not going to need to warm up that leg press as much as you did during the squat, because obviously it's a similar movement pattern. You've gone through a lot of the stuff you would do with warming up in a leg press, okay? It might still be a pretty smart idea to do some level of warm-up still, so you're not jumping straight to your top set weight, but you're probably not going to need to be as thorough. But there's a simple and effective way to warm up that's going to be specific to what you're doing in the gym, still effective, and probably going to save you quite a bit of time rather than spending 15-20 minutes on the treadmill doing something that isn't really going to relate to what you're actually there to do. If you found the video helpful, please drop a like. If you've got any questions, throw them down in the comments. If you haven't already, please do subscribe.